I'm going to try and help you work through this equation. I'm going to do the best I can without any sort of writing utensils. So it's going to be a lot of verbal explanation, and I hope that it can make sense to you. So we're being given the surface area of this cylinder, and they're asking us to find the volume. So it's a multi-step problem. We have to solve several equations in order to get to our ultimate answer. So they tell us the formula, surface area SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. R is the radius, which is given here, and height is this line here, which we do not know yet. So we're going to do some substituting for information we do know to try and solve this problem. So first of all, we know that the surface area is 110 pi. They gave us that information right here at the top. So I'm going to put 110 pi where it says SA equals, and now I'm just copying the formula, but I am going to put in 5 for the radius wherever there's an r in the formula. So 110 pi equals 2 pi times, we have r squared, but we know r equals 5, so 5 squared, plus 2 pi times r, here we know r is 5, times h. Now we're going to do some solving of that equation. So down here we just simply wrote, without the parentheses, 110 pi equals 2 pi times 5 squared, which we know is 25, plus 2 pi times 5 times h. Now let's simplify. In order to simplify this, you need to simplify on this side of the plus sign first. We move from left to right. So simplify on this side of the plus sign. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 2 is 50 pi. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 2 pi is 50 pi. I've simplified on this side of the plus sign. Now I'm going to come over to this side of the plus sign. I'm going to take 5 times 2 pi. 5 times 2 is 10 pi times h. So I have simplified. Now what I need to do is I need to isolate this h. This h needs to be all by itself in order to solve this equation. And because 10 pi times h is all connected, it's like it's velcroed together. In order to get rid of this 10 pi, I have to divide by 10 pi because dividing is the opposite of multiplication. So I am going to divide this part of the plus sign by 10 pi. And when I do that, I get h all by itself. Now, I think this is the part where you were confused, but since I divided by 10 pi on this side of the plus sign, I have to divide by 10 pi on this side of the plus sign as well. 50 pi divided by 10 pi is going to give me 5 pi. So bear with me here. I'm sorry, it's going to give me 5. Bear with me here. So I'm going to have 5 plus h on this side of my equation. Let's see if I can even type that over here. 5 plus h. Now, because I divided by 10 pi on this side of the equal sign, I also have to divide by 10 pi on this side of the equal sign. And when I divide by 10 pi on this side of the equal sign, I get 11. Now my equation looks like this. 11 equals 5 plus h. But remember, our goal is to isolate this variable. We want h all by itself. In order to get rid of the 5, I have to subtract 5 from this side. And when I subtract 5 from this side of the equal sign, I have to subtract 5 from this side of the equal sign. And when I do that, I get 6 equals h. Now, because I've solved for h, I'm able to move on to the volume of a cylinder. Here is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. Volume equals pi times r squared. Remember, r is 5. And now we know h is 6. So we're going to do some substituting. We're going to put 5 squared here, and we're going to put 6 here. So the first thing I do is I take 5 times 5 is 25. I take 25 times 6, I get 150 pi. V equals 150 pi centimeters cubed. I hope that helps. Sorry I didn't have a way to draw it out for you, but hopefully I explained it well enough that you understand. Good luck.